making the wrong mistakes with your Etsy ad campaign can cost you literally thousands of dollars. In this video, I'm going over the top 3 mistakes that most Etsy sellers make with their Etsy ads. What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dave. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. I do new videos all the time on Etsy, e-commerce, and personal success. With that being said, let's jump right into it because I see tons of Etsy shops making these mistakes when I speak with them. They can cost tons of money, and it really is really sad because you can have a successful Etsy ad campaign. You just need to be able to pay attention to it and manage it properly. So without further ado, number 1 is a little bit counterintuitive, but it's having too low of a budget. If you have too low of a budget with your Etsy ad campaign, it doesn't really give enough power or enough juice to the Etsy ad algorithm to go out and find you the right customers, to get used to who to show it to create a positive return on investment. If you're trying to spread out like $10 on 200 listings, then you're going to get barely any power to any of them, and none of them will really do well. You need to spend a decent amount of money to get them out there, and then you will be able to see which listings create a positive return on investment, so you can go and turn off the ones that aren't, therefore giving even more juice or more power to the ones that are working and creating a very, very successful ad campaign. Number 2 is, this one is massive, but you would think that a lot of people would know to do this, but a lot of people I've spoken with don't do this, and so I'm going to say it. It's turning off the listings that are losing you money. So every 2 to 3 days, 4 days, every week minimum, you should be going in to your Etsy ads dashboard, looking at the listings and seeing what is making you money and what isn't. You need to have in your mind what is called a cost per conversion that you are comfortable with. So if you are not comfortable with an ad spending $10, over $10 and not getting you any sales, then you turn that listing off. The comfortable cost per conversion can be different. Like, let's say it's a diamond ring that you made, you'd be willing to spend $50 to $100 acquiring a sale if the final price is $2,000. But if you're selling a $30 product, you don't really want to go much over $5 to acquire a sale, because then you have the transactional fees and everything else in there. So every 3 days, I recommend go in there and look at what is making you money, what isn't. If it's not making you money and it went over that comfortable cost per conversion that you decide for yourself, then you turn the listing off. With the new Etsy ads dashboard, they make it kind of silly. They make it really, really silly to turn off listings individually. You have to copy and paste the title, go up to the manage advertised listings, and then paste it in there and then uncheck the box. Really, really stupid in my opinion. Etsy, if you're watching, that is ridiculous. We need the toggle switch back that was on each listing. That toggle switch makes so much sense, and the way they have it now makes 0 sense. It's almost as if they don't want us to mess with our Etsy ads. So if you're ever in contact with Etsy, be sure to tell them that's a very, very silly change. Number 3 is you're not considering the bigger picture, right? So there's a lot of other things that go into your ads on Etsy. As much as we all want to believe that if you just turn it on, you pick up some magic number and you do everything right within the ads dashboard, then you'll make a ton of sales. No, there are also outside factors of Etsy ads that are affecting your sales. Your SEO, that's what your targeting is. That's exactly who you're paying to get that listing in front of. So if that listing wasn't doing so hot before based on the SEO, then it's not going to do so well on Etsy ads. But you have to test it out. You still have to start with all of your listings on for Etsy ads to find winners, to find losers, etc. But if it's not doing so hot on its own, then it's probably not going to do so hot when you put money behind it. And it only stings the worst when you start to put money behind it, because then you're losing money because of your own poor targeting choices. SEO is not only search engine optimization. You need to look at it as if you're targeting a specific audience. Just like if you were in Facebook ads or any other ad platform, it's literally your targeting. Your title and your tags are literally your audience targeting. So that's a very touchy one. You know, you're putting money when you're crafting title and tags on Etsy and you plan on advertising that listing, view it as a target. You're targeting this audience. So you better be careful and, you know, do it correctly, or be prepared to weed through what isn't working, because that happens too. It happens with anything across e-commerce, whether it be Facebook ads, Etsy ads, any ad campaign. There are going to be losers and you have to weed them out. You can't just create listings and expect them to do good. So many Etsy sellers follow that narrative that you just list a bunch of stuff and you don't have to weed it out. I've been on Etsy for 5+ years. Why aren't I doing well? No, it's up to you to make the right choices. And, you know, click-through rate. Click-through rate is part of the bigger picture as well. If you have a few duplicates of an item and some of them you see are doing well with maybe click-through rate or sales in general, and you notice a trend, it's a little bit hard to, you know, notice trends with click-through rates on Etsy if you have duplicates. But if you notice a trend with a specific photo on some duplicates that you have, then say, okay, maybe this photo is getting me a higher click-through rate. I'll try this one. Or a similar shot. You could recreate that shot. You know, maybe the shot of your product just sitting on your kitchen table isn't doing so well compared to the shot that you put much more time into with a pretty background, with props and some good focus points, etc. So maybe those types of shots should be recreated in the future so you can continue to do well and get good click-through rates, thinking about that bigger picture. So those are all of the tips that I have for Etsy ads today. Be sure to check the description below for the links to my courses, my coaching, and my email list. Feel free to ask any comments or questions in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.